There is a full generation who are less and less interested in cars. They prefer their phones and other gadgets. So, with autonomous driving in mind, what will you do to sell GTRs and other cool cars for them? And most important, how do you keep them interested in driving?
You're talking about GTR? Sorry, GTR. Yeah. Well, I can tell you that means the people who love to drive are going to be interested in autonomous cars. And I'm going to tell you why. Because driving, even for the most passionate driver, is very boring if you are in a congested highway. If you are into a traffic jam into a city, driving is boring. I love to drive, and I can tell you I would love to have an autonomous car where I can put it on whenever I'm in a traffic jam, okay? So I think we should not say autonomous drive is going to kill the pleasure of driving. On the contrary, it's going to reinforce it, because you decide when you want to drive and when you don't want to drive. So in a certain way, it's going to bring back the pleasure. Now, today you have no choice. You're going to have to drive anyway, okay? Whether you have traffic jam, or you are on a highway, or you are on a mountain, you have to drive. But when you're going to put the autonomous drive, you will decide when you want to drive. So it's going to make the pleasure of driving even more obvious. Your question is about driverless cars, about cars without driver. But for the moment, cars without driver are more for commercial needs. We're talking about robot taxi, we're talking about delivery in cities, etc. That's where we see the need for driverless cars. So I'm not worried about the pleasure of driving. It's going to always be there. On the contrary, it will be reinforced by putting autonomous drive, because it's going to be giving you the choice when you want to drive and where you want to drive.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining us. We invite you all to join us for a reception across the hall at the Sayers Club. Thank you.